They say some islands don't exist on maps because they shouldn't exist at all. My name is Marcus Webb. What I'm about to tell you happened 3 months ago, but I still wake up screaming, clawing at my sheets, checking the mirrors in my house. Because mirrors show the truth. It started as a stupid dare. My 3 college friends, Jake, Sophie, and Derek, we were all amateur paranormal investigators. YouTube channel stuff, you know? Abandoned asylums, haunted prisons, the usual. We had maybe 10,000 subscribers, nothing special. Then Derek found it, a forum post, deep web, encrypted. Someone calling themselves The Last Keeper had posted coordinates to an island off the coast of Maine, Blackwater Island. The post said, "Come at 3 a.m., bring 4 people, no more, no less. The island remembers." The thread had 47 comments. All of them said the same thing. Don't go. They're still there. It took my brother. He came back wrong. Of course, we went. We rented a fishing boat from this old man named Silas at the dock. When Derek showed him the coordinates, the color drained from his face. "You kids," he whispered, his voice like gravel scraping concrete. "You don't know what you're doing." "It's just an island, old man," Jake laughed. Silas grabbed Jake's wrist. His grip was ice cold. "Count yourselves when you get there, then count again when you leave. And if the numbers don't match..." "What?" Sophie asked. "Pray it's you who's extra, not something else." We left at 2:17 a.m. The fog rolled in around 2:45. Thick, unnatural, the kind that makes sound die. That's when I noticed it. Sophie was steering, Derek was checking equipment, Jake was on his phone. But in the corner of my eye, I saw 5 silhouettes on the boat. I counted again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just us. But the shadow, the 5th shadow, it moved when none of us did. At exactly 3 a.m., the island appeared. Blackwater Island looked like God had forgotten to finish it. Broken Victorian houses tilted at wrong angles, rusted playground equipment that squeaked in the windless air, a church with no cross, and silence, the kind that presses against your eardrums. We dragged the boat onto the shore. That's when Derek said it. "Guys, are we all here?" "What kind of stupid question?" Jake started. "Count, now, out loud." 1, I said. 2, Sophie whispered. 3, Jake added nervously. 4, Derek finished. We stood there, 4 people. Then, from behind us, a voice exactly like mine said, 5. We spun around. Nothing. But our footprints in the sand, there were 5 sets. Sophie was shaking. "This is a prank. Jake, this is one of your stupid..." "It's not me!" Jake screamed. That's when we saw it. In the fog, about 30 feet away. A lighthouse. Tall, black. The light rotating slowly, cutting through the mist. Derek pulled out his map. His hands trembled. There's no lighthouse marked here. This island was abandoned in 1987. No structures over 2 stories. The lighthouse was at least 8 stories tall, and the light, it wasn't white. It was red. Blood red. "We're leaving," Sophie said. "Right now. Back to the boat." But when we turned around, the beach was different. Our boat was gone. In its place, standing in the shallow water, was a figure. It was shaped like a man. Tall, impossibly tall. 7 feet, maybe more. Skin black as crude oil. Wet. Dripping. But its face... God, its face. It had no features, no eyes, no nose, no mouth. Just smooth, wet skin stretched over a skull. But it was looking at us. I felt it looking. Then its head tilted, slowly, at an angle no neck should bend. And from where its mouth should have been, a voice came. Multiple voices. Men, women, children, all speaking at once. "You came back. You always come back." We ran. We sprinted toward the center of the island, away from the beach, away from that thing. The Victorian houses loomed on either side of us, windows broken, doors hanging open like screaming mouths. And in every window, I swear to God, I saw us, our reflections, but wrong. In one window, I saw myself hanged, swinging from the ceiling. In another, Sophie was drowning, clawing at glass from the inside of a water-filled room. Derek was on fire, burning silently, his mouth open in a scream we couldn't hear. Jake was being pulled apart by invisible hands, his body stretching like taffy. "Don't look!" I shouted. "Don't look at the windows!" We reached the lighthouse. The door was open. We had no choice. We went in. Inside was a spiral staircase, rust, salt, the smell of decay, and photographs. Hundreds of them, covering the walls, black and white, Polaroids, digital prints, all of different people on this island. Groups of 4, always 4. Sophie found one. Her hand flew to her mouth. "Oh my God." It was us. All 4 of us, same clothes, same faces, same everything. We were standing on the beach, the boat behind us, smiling. But we hadn't taken a picture like that. Derek grabbed it, his voice cracked. "Look at the date stamp. September 14th, 1987. 36 years ago." "That's impossible," Jake whispered. "We weren't even born." I looked at the other photos, more groups, different people, different decades, all groups of 4. And in every single photo, standing behind them, barely visible in the fog, a 5th figure. Tall, wet, featureless. That's when we heard it, from upstairs. A voice, wet, dripping, like someone speaking through water. "You came back. You always come back. Why do you keep forgetting?" "Run!" Derek screamed. But Jake was frozen, staring at another photograph. This one was in color, recent. It showed 4 decomposed corpses on the beach, wearing our clothes. Our faces, rotted and bloated, stared back at us. The date stamp, September 14th, 2023. Today's date. Sophie grabbed Jake and we bolted up the lighthouse stairs. Round and round, the metal groaned under our feet. Behind us, we heard it. Wet footsteps. Slap, slap, slap. Not 4 feet, not 2. 5. One of us wasn't us. We reached the top, the lighthouse keeper's room, circular, windows all around showing the fog-choked island. And in the center, an old logbook, open. Derek grabbed it, started reading aloud, his voice shaking. September 14th, 1987. They arrived at 3 a.m., 4 students. I tried to warn them. The island takes one, makes them forget, makes them think they're real. By morning, there were 4 bodies on the beach, and one walking, talking, living thing that thought it was human. It left on their boat, went back to the mainland, lived a life, had friends, family, until the call comes again, and they return. They always return. I felt cold, colder than the ocean air. "Who wrote this?" Sophie whispered. Derek turned the page. There was a photo paper-clipped to it. An old man, lighthouse keeper's uniform. His name tag read, Silas Morrow. The old man from the dock. But this photo was from 1987. That's impossible, Jake said. "That would make him dead," I finished. "He should be dead. Or over 100 years old." Derek kept reading. "I was one of them once, in 1952. 4 friends. One came back. Me. I lived 35 years thinking I was real. Then the call came. I returned. And I remembered. I'm not Silas Morrow. I'm what took Silas Morrow. And I've been the keeper ever since, warning them, watching them, waiting for my replacement." The room started flooding, not from outside, from the walls. Seawater pouring from the stones, rising fast. "The door!" Sophie screamed. We ran to it, locked, rusted shut. The water was at our ankles, knees, waist. And in the water, I saw them. Corpses, floating, dozens of them, hundreds. All the people from the photographs, their eyes were open, staring. The water reached my chest. "We're going to drown!" Jake screamed, pounding on the windows. But Derek was calm, too calm. He was smiling. "Derek?" Sophie's voice trembled. Derek turned to face us. His eyes had gone white, completely white, like dead fish eyes. And when he spoke, it was that voice, multiple voices, the drowned chorus. "One of you isn't real. One of you has always been mine. And you're about to remember." The water reached our necks. The water covered our heads. We were drowning, but then I could breathe. We all could. We were underwater, but breathing, and the lighthouse was gone. We were standing on the ocean floor, miles of darkness below, pressure that should have crushed us, but we stood there, looking at each other. That's when I saw it. Jake's shadow. It didn't match his body. While he stood still, his shadow writhed, twisted, extended. And from his shadow, a hand reached out, black, dripping. Wrong. "Jake," I whispered. He looked at me, tears streaming down his face. I remember." "Remember what?" "We came here in 1987, college road trip. Me, you, Derek, Sophie. We were 21. We came to the island, and something happened. There was a choice. The island, it gave us a choice." The water around us began to shimmer, like a television finding a signal, and I saw it. Memories that weren't mine. 4 young people on a beach, the same figure in the water. It offered a deal. One of us would die, the others would live. But one of the survivors wouldn't be real, would be a perfect copy, an echo, a thing wearing human skin. And that copy would live a full life until the island called them back, 36 years later, to make the choice again, to feed the island. Young Jake, my Jake, the real Jake, he volunteered. "Take me," he said. "Let the others live." And the thing smiled, with a mouth that appeared just to smile. "Not you," it said. "Him." And it pointed at me. I stared at my hands. They were starting to turn black, wet, dripping. "No," I whispered. Sophie was crying. "Marcus, you died in 1987. I remember now. We all do. You drowned, and this thing, it's been living as you for 36 years. "No!" I screamed. "I have memories, a childhood, a mother, a life!" Derek's voice was sad. "Implanted. The island is ancient. It feeds on identity, on existence. It takes a person and creates a perfect copy. That copy lives, loves, ages, thinks it's real, until it's time to feed again." The water began to drain. We were back in the lighthouse, but I was different now. My skin was black as oil, my eyes were white, and I could feel it, the hunger, the need. I'd been feeding the island for 36 years without knowing. Every person I met, every friend, every family member, a little piece of their soul, their identity, drained, fed to the island through me. I opened my mouth to speak, but what came out was that chorus. "Choose. One of you stays. One of you becomes. 2 of you forget. The cycle continues." Jake stepped forward. "Take me. I'm the oldest. I've lived a good—" "You don't have a choice," Sophie said, her voice cold. She was holding something, the logbook. "There's one way to break it. One way the keeper never wrote down, because he didn't want to die. "What is it?" Derek asked. "The copy has to choose to die, truly die, and the island dies with it." I felt it then, the truth. I was the anchor, the thing keeping this place alive. If I died, truly died, accepting what I was, the island would sink, forever. I looked at my friends, my fake friends, people I'd loved for a life I never really lived. "I'm sorry," I whispered with my real voice, the voice underneath the chorus. And I jumped. Epilogue: The Forgetting. They found Jake, Sophie, and Derek 3 days later, floating in a life raft, dehydrated, confused. They said their friend Marcus had fallen overboard, drowned. They couldn't find the body. The Coast Guard searched. No island at those coordinates. Never had been. Just open ocean. But sometimes, on September 14th, fishermen report seeing something. A lighthouse, flickering in the fog, and 5 silhouettes standing on a shore that shouldn't exist. Waiting. Always waiting. For the next 4. Are you sure you're real? Are you sure you've always been you? Check your oldest photographs. See if you recognize yourself. See if you remember Blackwater Island.